Hi guys, welcome to this tactical video. This one is the third video I am making for Sisters of Battle in Warhammer 40k 8th edition. Adepta Sororitas if you prefer, and as you can see this video is about an elite choice. It is the Hospitaller, or Hospitalier as I prefer to say, although that's not how it's spelled apparently. Okay, so Hospitaller straight off the bat costs 2 power points. You're going with power levels, or alternatively 30 regular points. There are no upgrades she can take. She is armed with just the chirurgian with the weird medical thing tools. Okay, she has no ranged weapons. She has no grenades whatsoever. So that is it. It's a pretty simple choice. Her stat line is move 6 as normal, weapon skill 4+, which is worse than a lot of things, same as a regular battle sister. Ballistic skill 3+, but you won't be using that. Strength 3, toughness 3. She comes with 4 wounds, the same as the Magifier. Only 2 attacks though, the Magifier got 3. And she is leadership 8, which is again not really too relevant. She's a single model. And she has a 3+ save. She does have Shield of Faith, which is good. She has Acts of Faith, which means you can perform Acts of Faith on her and, you know, keep her alive, move her around, that kind of thing. You obviously won't be doing a shooting one, she can't do it. The one thing she does have in her favour is her melee weapon is -1 AP, but it's still strength user, that's it. So yeah, she's not great in combat or anything like that. She's actually quite expensive for what you get, but 4 wounds isn't too bad. Much like the Magifier, there's a single reason you would bring her. And it seems like a lot of this codex, index, whatever, Sister Battle faction, they've kind of done it where they've gone, we need to kind of fill out some more choices, unit choices, so we're just going to throw in this person for literally one random thing only, and that's their only purpose. So what I used to say about Sisters of Battle playing kind of like Eldar, at least in older editions before they got overpowered, it's more true than ever. Sisters of Battle are incredibly specialised now. So, and then there's the Inari thing as well, which we're quite similar with now. Okay, we are Eldar. No, so yeah, the only reason you would take a Hospitaller is her healer ability. Okay, and what this is, at the end of your movement phase, a Hospitaller can attempt to heal or revive a single model. This is basically exactly the same as the Act of Faith for healing. Okay, the key differences here is that you can only use the healer ability once on a particular unit in each turn. Okay, what this means is that you can't have multiple Hospitallers healing a unit. However, you could have multiple Hospitallers healing different units if you wanted, or you could combine a Hospitaller and the healing Act of Faith, which is a perfectly valid option, and then you could heal a single unit twice in a single turn. The other difference is that it's at the end of the movement phase. As I said, Acts of Faith happen at the beginning, so what this means is she can do it after moving, and so getting to position first. If things are out of position, maybe you wouldn't be able to normally do an Act of Faith on a particular unit, then because they weren't in range or whatever, she can actually get into position first and do it. So a little bit more flexible there. If you really needed to get her in position first, you could give her the movement Act of Faith, and she could like move and run twice, and that would definitely help. So she's kind of like a field medic, just like running out across the field through all the storm of fire and all that kind of thing, and getting to whoever needs her the most is the idea, which is kind of a fun visual metaphor, but you know. So that's not too bad. The drawback with her is that she needs to be within 3 inches to do this ability, whereas the Act of Faith is 6 inches if it's the Magifier, or of course you could just pick anyone if you're using your automatic ones. So the aura is slightly less, which is a bit of a shame. The other drawback is she can only do it on Adepta Sororitas infantry. Okay, so that means things like Crusaders and Arcoflagellants and that kind of thing are out. Priests are out. Uriah Jacobus is out. Any kind of vehicle is out, where a Magifier could at least use it on those. So it actually limits her choices quite a lot. To be honest, you're probably going to be using her to heal things like Canonesses, heal I mean, if a particular Retributor squad or something lost a Heavy Bolter or something like that, use her to bring that back. Or maybe even your Magifiers, to be honest. But for 30 points, she's a little bit cheaper than a Magifier if you wanted to purely use her for healing. And of course she's a bit more reactive, so I would actually say if you do want to go on healing, and it's a choice between the two, then the Hospitaller is probably a slightly better choice. Having said that, you'd probably be better off in that situation having both, so you could get double the healing. And to be honest, in any other situation, I honestly think the Magifier is a better choice, and that's a bit of a shame, because the Hospitaller is probably my favourite model in all of the Sisters of Battle range. And on top of that, it's like one of my favourite models in 40k, so I'm just going to flip around and see blah blah blah. I really like the model, but I have two of them, so I'll give them a few whirls at least. I'm sure I can come up with a way and they'll be very useful. So yeah, that is basically all there is to say about the Hospitaller, unfortunately. She doesn't really have anything else going for her anymore. You used to be able to do more combinations and that kind of thing, but combination-wise, you can't even really pair her with Celestine unless you spend acts of faith on the Hospitaller just to get her to keep up, because otherwise Celestine's going to be racing off, so she can't really heal her. She can't really, well, Canoness, if you've got a Canoness at the back and for some reason she's getting targeted, yeah, it could help with that. A Magify is going forward, but again, like I said, the Magify thing. The thing is, all these people are characters, so they're fairly easy to keep alive as it is, okay? Because you can protect them fairly well. And for those few situations where they're taking damage, you have the Act of Faith to heal them, if need be. So it's better to get more Acts of Faith, effectively. Especially because you can use it on more things, okay? Really, I can only see the Hospitaller being useful if she's at the back of a gun line or something, and say it's a Retributor squad, like a 5-girl Retributor squad, which is all upgrades. That's where she's useful. So say if you've got very small MSU units, multiple small units, or with lots of upgrades, that's where the Hospitaller is useful, because then she can bring them back when they get hurt. The problem is, again, I feel like the damage that will kill those kind of units will probably wipe the units if it's focused on them. So let's see. Say it's a Dominion squad and you're in an immolator with them, okay? They've all got the melter guns, which are quite expensive now. You lose one or two, maybe. Then she could heal that person and bring them back on a 4+. Remember, it's not guaranteed. That's where she's useful. The problem with this is that, again, those units going forward are going to be right in the brunt of things, and if the last edition tells you anything, those girls are going to die. They are going to get slaughtered. If it's just 5 of them, you're going to take heavy losses, and honestly, the Hospitaller is not going to really do anything to stop that from happening, unless you get very lucky and your opponent gets unlucky. If she's on the backfield, the incoming fire is going to be less, so she is better in a gunline situation in that case. However, again, if the enemy dedicates enough to your backfield, which can easily quite happen, she's not going to be able to keep up with the amount of damage coming in. On top of that, if they're just peppering you with a couple of shots and killing one here and there, the Hospitaller helps with that, but she's more expensive than just taking a couple of extra sisters for the ablative wounds, and you could just kill them anyway, and there you go. And she takes up an elite slot, which isn't really a problem, as I said before, because you can have a lot of other slots, but honestly, I don't really think she's worth the points for a lot of the situations. So if I was going to use the Hospitaller, as I say, I'd probably keep her near the back, or I would run her forward in a very big Dominion squad, and you expect to take a lot of losses. So yeah, not too bad, but honestly just doesn't compare to the other things you can do. If she wasn't restricted to infantry, that would be a huge benefit. If she wasn't restricted to just Adepta Sororitas, that would help too, because then at least she could work on Arco-Flagellants and that kind of thing. But as it is, unfortunately, I don't really think she's that good at the moment. But I will be using her anyway, see if we can come up with some tricks and that kind of thing. So these videos are just my first thoughts on how I would use them and that kind of thing. But I intend to get full use out of all my models at some point in this edition. So that's it from the Hospitaller. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, remember to click like. Don't forget to comment below. I will get back to you if you have any questions as soon as I can. And don't forget to subscribe, of course, for more tactical videos like this in the near future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.